Welcome back to the 21 Boom Guided Meditation. I'm your host. I am Coach Zach Feeney. I'll be your guide for the evening. So are you trapped in the past or living in the present? The thoughts that just keep going round and round and causing mental pain. Examples, there is nothing I can do. I am falling apart. I have no future. I am completely defeated. I have lost something I'll never find again. I am not my old self anymore. I'm worthless. I am a burden to others. Something in my life has been damaged forever. I can't find meaning in my life. I'm completely helpless. The pain will never go away. Memories of real events. Listen to some of these words that I'll say in a moment and think of a real event that has happened to you and that comes into your mind when you hear each of these words. Keep in mind or write down what happened. Doesn't matter whether the real events happened a long time ago or only recently, but it should be something that lasted for less than one day. For example, if fun was one of the words, it would be okay to say I had fun when I went to that party, but it would not be okay to say I always have fun at parties because that doesn't mention a particular event. Do your best to think about something for each of the words. In each case, remember to come up with something that lasted for less than one day. Think of a time when you felt happy, bored, relieved, hopeless, excited, failure, lonely, sad, lucky, relaxed. So this week, our goal here is to help you bring kindness back into your life. Kindness, not just for others, but for yourself too. Imagine you're in a crowded place and you see a friend talking to one of your work colleagues. You smile and wave at them. They are looking in your direction, but don't seem to notice you. What thoughts go through your mind? How do you feel? You might think that such a scene is clear cut, but it's actually highly ambiguous. Show it to half a dozen people and you will get a range of answers that depend more on the state of mind of the person being asked than on any concrete reality. If something has recently happened to make you happy, you will probably assume that your friends didn't see you waving at them. The scene will soon be forgotten, but if you are unhappy or distressed for some reason, any reason, the dance of ideas will be choreographed differently and the scene will take on an entirely different meaning. You may conclude that your friends are trying to avoid you, or that maybe you had lost more friends. You might think they're avoiding me. Here we go again. Maybe they'll never like me and spend ages trying to lose me. Why is friendship so transient? The world is becoming increasingly shallow. So such self-talk can quickly turn a period of fragile sadness into a longer and deeper bout of unhappiness that leaves you questioning many of your most cherished beliefs. Why? Our minds are always desperately trying to make sense of the world, and they do this in the context of baggage accumulated over many years together with the mood of the moment. They're constantly gathering up scraps of information and trying to fit them together into a meaningful picture. They do this by constantly referring back to the past and seeing if the present is beginning to pan out in the same way. They then extrapolate these models into the future and see, once again, if a new pattern or theme emerges. Juggling such patterns is one of the defining characteristics of being human. It's how we impose meaning on the world. This dance of ideas is amazing to behold until it starts to freeze. Overgeneral memory tends to freeze the past as a byproduct of its tendency to summarize. The summary is then taken as true forever. So once you have interpreted your friend's behavior as rejection, you rarely go back to the actual details of the situation and consider other interpretations. You overgeneralize, especially if you are tired or preoccupied with your own problems. And when the dance of ideas freezes, all you remember later is yet another example of people rejecting you. Your world loses its texture and color and becomes black or white, win or lose. How harsh and judgmental are you toward yourself? Treating yourself with kindness and ceasing to judge yourself harshly are cornerstones of finding peace in a frantic world. Ask yourself these questions. Do I criticize myself for having irrational or inappropriate emotions? Do I tell myself I shouldn't be feeling the way I'm feeling? Do I believe some of my thoughts are abnormal or bad and I shouldn't think that way? Do I make judgments about whether my thoughts are good or bad? Do I tell myself that I shouldn't be thinking the way I do? Do I think some of my emotions are bad or inappropriate and I shouldn't feel them? When I have distressing thoughts or images, do I judge myself as good or bad depending what the thoughts or image is about? Do I disapprove of myself when I have irrational ideas? If you endorsed strongly more than one or two of these questions, you may be being too hard on yourself. Could you begin treating yourself with more compassion? The trick with these questions is to understand that you're being too harsh on yourself without seeing this fact as a criticism. See your responses as an aid to awareness rather than as a sign of success or failure. And it can be hard. So take a few moments now to become settled in a warm and comfortable place where you can be by yourself for a while, relaxed and alert. Find a posture that for you embodies a sense of dignity and wakefulness. If you are sitting, allow the spine to be strong and the shoulders relaxed, the chest open and the head balanced. Close your eyes, focus on the breath, and then expand attention to the whole body for a few moments until you feel settled. When the mind wanders, acknowledge where it went, remembering that you have a choice now, either to escort it back to whatever you had intended to focus on, or instead, to allow your attention to drop into the body to explore where you are experiencing the trouble or concern. Feel free to use any previous exercises that we've done in these meditations as part of your preparation for this one. When you are ready, allow some or all of these phrases to come to mind, changing the words if you choose, so that they connect to you and become for you your own gateway into a deep sense of friendliness toward yourself. May I be free from suffering. May I be as happy and healthy as it is possible for me to be. May I have ease of being. Taking your time, imagine that each phrase is a pebble dropped down into a deep well. You are dropping each one in turn, then listening to any reaction in thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, or impulse to act. There is no need to judge what arises. This is for you. If you find it difficult to bring forth any sense of friendship toward yourself, bring to mind a person or even a pet who, either in the past or present, has loved you unconditionally. Once you have a clear sense of their love for you, see if you can return to offering this love to yourself. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy and healthy. May I have ease of being. At a certain point, bring to mind a loved one and wish them well in the same way, using he, she, or they as you prefer. May he, she, they be free from suffering. May he, she, they be as happy and healthy as it is possible for them to be. May he, she, they have ease of being. Once again, see what arises in mind and body as you hold the person in mind and heart, wishing them well. Once again, allow responses to come. Take your time. Pause between phrases, listening and attentively, breathing. When you are ready to move on, choose a stranger. This may be someone you see regularly, perhaps in the streets or on the bus or trains, someone you recognize, but may not know the name of, someone you feel neutral about. Recognize that although you do not know them, they probably also have a life full of hopes and fears as you have. They too wish to be happy as you do. So, keeping them in heart and mind, repeat the phrases and wish them well. Now, you might wish to bring to mind someone whom you find difficult, past or present. This does not have to be the most difficult person in your life, but whomever you choose, now intentionally allow them to be in your heart and mind, acknowledging that they too may wish or have wished to be happy and to be free from suffering. Repeat the phrases. May he or she be free from suffering. May he or she be happy and healthy. May he or she have ease of being. Pausing, listening, noticing sensations in the body. See if it is possible to explore these feelings without censoring them or judging yourself. Remember that if at any time you feel overwhelmed and drawn away by intense feelings or thoughts, you can come back to the breath in the body to anchor yourself back in the present moment, treating yourself with kindness. Finally, extend loving kindness to all beings, including your loved ones and strangers and those whom you find difficult. The intention here is to extend love and friendship to all living beings on the planet, and remembering that all living beings, including you, that includes you as well. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be happy and healthy. May all of us have ease of being. At the end of this time of practice, take time to sit with the breath and the body, resting in clear awareness of the present moment. Whatever your experience of this practice, acknowledge your own courage in taking the time to nourish yourself in this way.